Also, something to know, and we'll talk about this later, Fuff is probably going to be doing a different route because of a new strat that just got found. So we'll look forward to that.
2 days ago.
Was it not yesterday? I don't even know.
I think it was 5 in the morning yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Because I know I was about to go to bed, and then Doga says, guys, I found toilet quick kill. So, of course, I can go to sleep for another hour.
Alright, so Fuff is in first, and we'll see if that stays. What they're going to be doing in this first level
later on.
Yeah. In this first level, they're going to be collecting yarn to get the sprint hat. The yarn pretty much lets you craft hats. And the sprint hat's really useful because you can go fast.
And going fast is very important.
They're also going to be getting 5 pawns. This lets them go to She Came From Outer Space first. And that lets them get the yarn for the brewer hat and then use that in barrel battle later.
Just a slight optimization over just doing barrel battle first, even though it does take some extra time to make.
Something to know, we use in-game time for these races, so even if it looks like someone's ahead, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will actually end up winning because the real time doesn't matter for the results of the race. And the in-game time
because of
in-game time is just real time minus the loads.
Yeah. In this race in particular, it will be hard to tell even with in-game time, just because there are some major route differences that will go from around the middle of the game to the very end. So we won't even be able to tell who enters the last level, until the last level. We won't be able to tell who's ahead for the most part, unless it's obviously minutes apart.
Noackk just did a ticket dupe. If you take damage and then get a ticket, it just gives you 2 of them, so you don't actually need to get all of the tickets. They're also collecting yarn for the brewer hat, as we mentioned earlier.
Okay, I'm having a little trouble with that yarn. I don't know why that one's so hard to get.
They're also stitching the hats during cutscenes. That's because while you're stitching the hat, the cutscene just keeps going, so the optimal time is when you're waiting around anyway.
If we have to sit there and watch the cutscene, we may as well do 2 at once.
Fuff is now going into barrel battle, where he's going to use the brewer hat. This level is mostly an auto-scroller, but for the parts where you can actually fight the enemies, the brewer hat saves quite a bit of time.
I still don't even know if it's faster to use the brewer hat on these first guys.
I recently started doing it and barely saved any time, but I'm pretty sure it's faster if you actually do it right.
I just know because you still have to do the 4th swing anyways, so the time charge to the brewer looks like it's, I won't say kind of similar to doing the 2 hits.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I messed up too much with letting go of brewers too early for me to risk it. So the part that Fuff is at right now, this is really just the auto-scrollery part. We can't do anything to speed this up. We're just waiting for the barrels to finish.
Stand still. See if girl can handle this barrel. Heads up, little punk.
Alright.
Should probably keep the game audio on, Fuff.
Yeah.
Went back to hub there to skip a cutscene. Most cutscenes in this game are automatically skipped because of a setting that we have on. But some of them you need to exit like that.
And some you just can't skip in the first place.
Yeah. Looks like the difference right now is like 30 seconds.
Around, yeah. So Fuff just jumped on that chair real quick to avoid just going back and forth across this room like 3 times. It's a big room. I don't like walking. It's a good skip. I think you want to call it a skip.
He got some extra pawns here because he's gonna need 100 to unlock Heating Up Mafia Town.
So what Fuff just did there called the fight skip. If you just walk across normally, there's a tiny cutscene of you zooming in on the Mafia boss's face, and then you have to fight 2 normal Mafia guys. So instead we just go on top of the door frames and just jump across. Right here is pretty one of the few instances of RNG in the run. That sandbag attack that the boss just did up with Fuff. It loses 6.57 seconds, somewhere around there, each time he does it. He will do it once each phase, like you can't avoid that, but if he does it a second time, that's where you start losing time.
Remember, there's also the angry attack, which is 1.5 seconds. So the most you can lose is 2 sandbags and 2 angry attacks for 15 seconds total.
So it's not, it's not terrible, but it can still be really annoying to lose that much. Considering that's one of the few RNG instances in the run. Looks like Fuff got 3 or 4 sandbags.
That was the Mafia quick kill. If you charge a brewer hat on the right side, it just makes him jump and fall out of bounds. We don't really know why it works, but it does. And it probably saves like 40 seconds because you skip the entire 3rd phase of the fight. That was some really nice menuing, by the way.
Is there a problem with this controller right there?
Not sure. He lost like a second,
just...
probably, or 2.
It's not the end of the world, but it's typically better to just, move right away.
Yeah.
I don't switch often. Does just moving the joystick kind of switching the controller, or do you have to actually press a button?
You have to do something before it starts or it doesn't detect it.
Oh, that was sad.
So what Fuff was going there was double dupe. That first one, you have to take damage in order to dupe that ticket, but he jumped too far forward. He used an SDJ off the clock tower to get all that distance, which is a sprint double jump. It lets you keep sprint speed while doing 2 jumps, and you can get a bunch of distance from that.
Yeah, so the first time, Fuff didn't really do any of it wrong. He just went straight forward instead of a little bit to the left, so he just missed the tightrope.
He did get it the second time though, so it probably only cost him, what, like 8 seconds, 10? I don't know.
I think it's 10, maybe a tiny bit more, since he went all the way to the tightrope. Looks like noackk missed it as well. I think he's just gonna run back and try again. gonna have to grab some health if he wants to do more. Yeah. Because we do 2 tickets, you do need at least 2 HP to do that. So because noackk took that damage off the bird, he had to get a little bit more so he wouldn't die when trying to do the last ticket.
Got it that time. Would have been faster to go back to hub, but whatever works.
If you don't know that's
sewers
faster,
now.
then it's just whatever. Ooh.
I think he missed this in his last tournament run too. Ooh.
Can you recover
Can
from
he
that?
save this? No.
That would have been clutch if he saved that.
So this is a time rift. It's pretty cycle based and there's a lot of platforming. This one's kind of difficult because the early cycle is pretty precise, but also there's not really any checkpoints the way that we do it, so if you fall down anywhere, you lose a bunch of time. Doing it again.
Failing it twice is even more time.
That is true.
Yeah. Alright, we should be good from here. Alright, 122. That was kind of fast.
Yeah, you lost, what, like 40 seconds?
32 is about, I won't say it's community gold, but 32 is a really fast time.
So more than 40, like 45. So he's not going to use those 100 pawns that he has to go to heating up Mafia Town.
And this is actually where the routes you'll see a tiny difference. Well, actually, probably more than a bit. I think Fuff's going to do the newer heating up, noack's going to do older.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to see Fuff grab that relic right there, which is something we used to never see in 90%.
That relic is necessary in order to unlock a purple rift later on. So after these faucets, he's doing a death warp. He's going to now get 3 more faucets and then do another death warp. There's 6 total.
So right, you can see noackk is going to do the last faucet that Fuff is going to do first. And what changes it with routes just is that because we do that last one last, it's fairly close, and because we do that first death warp, it just makes more sense to hit them in the order that we do now. And we just sort of warp back. I don't understand how those work, honestly, but we'll see Fuff do it here.
He's going to use the brewer hat in order to get stuck inside this, whatever spinny thing's called. And then
if you sort of
do a stuck warp there.
If you just sort of get hit and then like get in a position where you won't move, the game thinks that you're stuck and it will bring you to your like save position. And because the only thing we hit on the way was the top of the faucet, which doesn't count as a save position, it just teleports us back to the beginning.
He got a 143 heating up Mafia Town with the relic, which is pretty good. That's better than the old IL time before this route, so...
Yeah, with the old strat that noackk is doing the best. Did anyone ever get a 144, or is it a 145?
Yeah, 144 was the record by username.
Yeah, I could have guessed that part. So you see noackk is just hitting this last one faucet here and then just running back instead of just warping back like Fuff was able to do. Fuff is doing this last level in Mafia Town for now. We will come back later on to do 2 levels now. And but for now, just mostly for the pawn requirements. We don't have a whole lot right now. We're just gonna do some other levels first.
So that's the end of Mafia Town, for now.
That's the big reset part of Mafia Town anyways. So here Fuff grabs another part of the relic, and the relic that we're going to build only has 2 parts, so he now has both parts he needs. So he still needs pawns to actually build it, so we're going to do that in a bit. But when he has the pawns, he can just go ahead and just build it. And then noackk messes up. Bizarre. Unfortunate.
Fuff's now gonna go for a trick called bag skip, which skips Snatcher's bag trap here. He's gonna use a momentum sprint double jump to get to this faraway tree branch. Ooh. I think he was too far left there at the very end of that jump. So that'll cost him like 20 seconds, but he's gonna go for it again. The trick saves 30, so...
If you get a second try, it's either a little faster or about the same as just not doing it at all. There he goes.
Yeah, so he's gonna get it on his second try.
Yeah, and because he quickly got back up to the tree, it's still 10 seconds faster or so than doing the level normally. I think he'll... At least I would usually get out of the bag at about 50 seconds. So we see Noah's also going for back skip. Let's see if he can get this first try.
Come with me.
He misses it too. This is probably the hardest trick in the run, so...
So he's just gonna get bagged.
If you're not feeling consistent at backstep because it is a very hard trick, then it's just safer to just do this. It's slower, but at least it's consistent.
In the meantime, Fuff was taking damage because he's gonna do a death warp here after getting the timepiece. That'll let him get respawned back in this level and then go straight to Subcon Well, saving around 3 seconds.
Good thing about Subcon is that all of the levels, most of the levels, are accessed within a single point, so it doesn't really matter where you spawn. All the warps to like enter the levels are still there.
You'll come with me.
Alright, so it looks like Fuff's going to be trying to do a cutscene skip right here. Normally, after you throw the paintings into the fire, there's a cutscene where the walls go down. But if you I don't know exactly how it works. If you just don't look at the fire, the cutscene doesn't trigger. Okay, got it. So he's gonna wait until he gets all the way to the loading zone for well, then look at it, so that the 2 cutscenes of entering the well and the walls going down activate at the same time. It just saves 2 to 3 seconds, but can be kind of risky. Alright, so we see that Fuff managed to pick up his hook shot, and we need that to unlock 1 level later on. So this level we definitely have to do, and it just lets us just hook shot around. That's really what this whole section here is, just getting used to hook shots. It's kind of a fun section to play. Can be hard though.
You're gonna notice that Fuff actually skipped a bunch of pawns there. that noack's going to be getting later, and the reason he can do that is because with his route, you need like 50 less pawns to collect. So pretty much any extra pawns in any of these levels, he can just go ahead and skip.
When Noack does miss the cherry death, he was a little too far back on the timepiece, I think, or too high up.
Yeah, it's going to cost them like 10 seconds.
You know, but I did a run with the route that Fuff did. I did it about an hour ago, and I wasn't even thinking about pawns. I just collected them as I normally did, and I had 50 extra by the time I was at the point where they sort of didn't matter. Fuff messed up so far. Double dupe, is that what all he messed up for the most part? I think everything else hasn't been too bad.
Sewers.
Oh, how did I forget that?
Yeah.
Golden Vault, he missed double dupe, and Sewers was just awful. Seriously, how did I forget that?
So this is a first-person shooter type level.
Third-person shooter.
You're right. Everyone's been saying FPS, and I never thought about it, but yeah, it is in third person.
My split name used to be first-person shooter, so I can't say I blame you.
Fuff just got the toilet contract also. That's because he's going to be doing a new quick kill on that level, which is part of the new route.
And this is where the routes start to differ. You're going to see Noack do Vanessa's Manor next instead of mail delivery, because Manor unlocks a time rift, and it's quicker to do a actual act level last, just to save some finale. The cutscene where the finale goes up, you unlock a little bit more of it. That one right there.
In Fuff's route, though, it makes sense to do mail earlier, because then you can do toilet and then use that to go to
Manor.
Yeah, it's slightly faster. And in his route, you can't avoid the finale cutscene anyway.
Because you actually do the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was making my route for this, and I sort of forgot about that, so I put I put toilet last, I think. Alright, so here we're seeing this new toilet quick kill. I'm not even going to pretend to know how it works. It just does.
Toilet disappears. Easy.
We changed settings. Toilet isn't a big fan. Toilet leaves.
He also collected the timepiece as the contract was popping up, which let him exit slightly earlier.
Yeah. We do that. We try and do it anyways on mail delivery service. I didn't notice if Fuff did it. I was watching Noack at the time. But the toilet one's kind of weird, because when we do it in mail delivery service, we actually still see the animation of you picking up the timepiece, but in toilet, you just stay paused. So I didn't even realize that you could exit the hub at first, but it's safe too.
Yeah, as long as your timer in the top right corner is green, then you're good.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. So here we're gonna see Noack headed his way over to Manor, which is where Fuff is heading right now. And Fuff did toilet. Make sure you unlock toilet first so he can spawn there. But Noack doesn't have that, so he has to go through any of the other levels. They all spawn at the same point, so it really doesn't matter. But if he had gotten bag skip, he could not go through CO because the bag would still be there. He didn't get it, so it doesn't really matter. But it's just going through Subcom Wild is just the safest way. You don't have to think about anything differently. They all spawn at the same point, so it doesn't really matter. So Fuff did right there. He jumped on the back of that door frame that you from the hallway used to enter, and with that he was high enough that he could just jump over the cutscene, because it does only extends horizontally throughout the room. It doesn't actually go up to the roof. And all the cutscene really was just zooming in on the box that we got the timepiece from.
So now he's gonna do the 2 rifts, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And like a smart person, Fuff is doing village first. Like, out of the 3 people who do it. I think it's me, Fuff, and one other person who do village first. I don't know why, it's just a thing I did. The order you do these rifts in really doesn't matter. It's just preference.
I think there's some advantage to doing stuff in the same order as other people, though. Just because you can compare easier.
Yeah, definitely. I know that, in the end, I just look at IL times, because those don't change, and the times to the, just like, to the telescope is something that I really don't it's talking's hard. It's some less time and it's easier to optimize than the actual rift itself, so I just compare IL times for the ones that I can't look at segment times.
Fuff has been doing quite a few double sprint jumps, which is when you sprint jump as you're going off a ledge, and then you sprint jump again within around 0.2 seconds after. You can get a second sprint jump, which gives you quite a bit more height.
I think he actually did a, I mean, officially, ooh, no, it misses that cycle. The official name, I think, is a triple sprint jump, but people have just been calling them triple jumps because that's more accurate to what they are. Fuff used one to enter the village entrance. What that is you just do the double sprint jump, but you really sprint in between your first 2 jumps. That way you can do your normal double jump after you do your 2 sprint jumps.
You actually get a sprint jump and then 2 normal jumps.
Oh, it's 2 normal jumps?
Yeah, the second one's a normal jump.
Alright. I've done like 3 of them in my life so far, so I don't know that
same.
well.
And never in a run. Too scary.
Oh no, they were all just me like, you know what, I have nothing better to do, let's pretend I know how to TSJ and just do it. I did it first try once, I was happy. What just happened on Fuff's screen?
Weird movement. I don't know. I did a run today and lost 20 seconds in this level, so...
Pipe?
Relatable. Yeah, pipe.
Yeah, so yours was closer to noackk?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now Fuff is going to be doing the Snatcher boss fight, I believe. While noackk is going to go do the village rift that Fuff did first. So this level, I'm happy it's finally in any percent because this is probably the best level in the game, even though we skip all the important parts to it. Almost all of them. So for this fight, Snatcher steals your hat, so you sort of have to just do the fight without it, which can be kind of annoying, but you're not supposed to be able to hit him, but if you angle yourself properly, you can sort of just hit him, which makes this fight a lot quicker than it should be. So we're just going to hit him until he's 1 hit away from death, because you actually can't kill him until he's covered in that blue potion stuff that he's throwing at you. So we're just going to wait for that to spawn, hit him 1 last time, and then the fight will be over. And then we'll see the best part of the game.
Please have a seat.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy you can't skip this because this is my favorite part of the game right here.
Yeah, I love this cutscene.
And noack's having such a struggle with Village. He accidentally dive boosted off the edge off the first Dweller platform. He missed a sprint double jump to one of the cookies, and then he just missed Bellis. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's important. We skip all the actual like text, like dialogue, but my favorite quote in the game is what Snatcher says right after you sign that contract, and he says, "You know that's not how contracts work, right?" I love that line. That was a really good Snatcher fight, actually.
Yeah, 151's pretty solid. I think the record right now is a 150, as far as I know.
Check somewhat.
So building that relic there unlocks the purple rift in Mafia Town, which is Mafia of Cooks, and he's gonna be doing that later in the run. The whole reason for doing this is so that you can get rid of Parade, the Moon Rift, and the fake award ceremony.
What was Fuff's exact time, real quick, on Snatcher?
151 point something. I don't know.
Because someone in a Discord I'm in just said the IL record for Snatcher was 151.19.
It used to be. Pulsar got a 150.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that recent, or was that just
Like
that
last
person
few
not checked?
days.
Ah, okay.
It's on speedrun.com though.
Oh, is it? That, like I said, I'm just in a Discord, someone's grinding ILs, and that's what he said the IL time was.
Fuff
There we just
jumped
did it.
out of bounds to hit a checkpoint and then respawn in this to skip one of those carts.
Those things are really slow.
This level in general was a stealth mission, but you can avoid almost all the birds pretty easily. Last
That
one's a
last
bit
one at the
tricky.
end, yeah, the one that Fuff just jumped over at the end, he's such a pain. If he see, like, with all the other birds, you can sort of just run through them, and as long as you don't stand there, you won't get caught. That last one, if he sees you, you're caught. There's pretty much no leeway. So we're just finishing up the level, and then we're moving on.
Fuff and Noack are in the same level, but Fuff has 2 extra time pieces.
And the
And-
ones that
yeah.
one of the ones that Noack has to do to make it up is the slowest level in the run. Second slowest level in the run.
Yeah, so Fuff's lead is pretty huge right now.
And that bird that caught Noack is one of the 2 birds that catches you instantly. Like I said, the one is at the end, but that one right before that cactus that did catch Noack is a really, really painful one as well. Especially because that one, for me, is always staring at me right when I get there. So this level that Fuff is doing is a supposed to be like a murder mystery sort of level. We'll find out one of the Owl Express birds was killed, and it's our job to figure out who did it. Sorry. So we're supposed to go around, find clues, and figure out who did it. That takes a really long time. I think it took me like 11 minutes to do it once, and do where everything was. So instead of that, we're just gonna not do any of it. If we jump on this bookcase, we can get enough height from a wall climb that we can just skip half the level and hit this button right away. Normally we're supposed to go around and go to like 7 different rooms, and it's a lot. Because of that,
that's pretty nice.
yeah. Oh, he almost got it. So because of that huge skip, the game doesn't really know what to do. So after a couple seconds, I think it's because it tries to play a cutscene that was supposed to play. I think one of these cutscenes to be exact. It just sort of puts us back where we spawned. If you're fast enough, you can make it to that door, but you have very little leeway. I think if you're off by like 3 frames, you won't make it or something like that. Don't quote me on that.
Also, there's a bunch of clocks in this level, but they're not actual time. It's just certain parts of the level certain doors that you're going through that advance the clocks.
I don't
So
know,
really-
that felt like an hour to me.
Yeah.
So, we didn't collect any of the clues we were supposed to throughout the level, but the game actually knows you can do that. There's an achievement for doing it. If that doesn't happen, it just gives you the first one you have collected anyways. So we just go with that one. So in this level, Picture Perfect, we're trying to become a diva, I believe, is exactly what we're trying to do. I don't think we are one yet. So we're just running around, taking pictures, talking to people, collecting endorsements. The only real trick to this level is right here. If we collect that endorsement, then the one that spawns by the fountain in the beginning, we won't have to talk to DJ groups again, which saves time. I don't know exactly how much faster.
I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds.
It's a noticeable amount.
That actually got.
No, it got
yeah, I don't know
T-posed. I don't know what causes that, but it's hilarious every time.
It looks
This is
really
great.
hard to play with that.
Yeah. This is some brace, oh boy. What is
happening?
I don't know what to say. I really don't.
Fuff's doing some double sprint jumps to make gallery faster.
He's doing everything in gallery and it's just fast. He's still in the deep pose. What the hell is that? I've only ever seen that in Finale, to be honest.
I didn't know it lasted forever.
Wait, does it?
Well, I mean, like, at least until the load. I hope it's not the whole run.
I'm gonna be laughing if it's the whole run, but that's gonna be really hard if it is.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, okay. It looked like it was for a second, but I guess that was just the animation of her jumping. Alright. So this next level that Fuff's gonna do, it's not the hardest level in the run, but it's my least favorite. It's precise, it's annoying, I hate it. It's fun if you do it right, it's just so hard to do it right.
It's pretty much all based on just one cycle, though.
Yeah, if you make...
Basically near the end, there's the vertical rotating gear, and if you get onto the gear, then you're going to get basically the same time every time.
Yeah. It looks like Fuff barely made it. You have to hit that third button before it moves. That's what the cycle's pretty much based on. It's just annoying because you can feel like you make no mistakes and it's still just possible to miss that button. At least for me. I probably made some mistakes, that's probably why, but still. Alright, so you did make some movement mistakes at the end. It's possible to get, I think, 58 is the fastest right now.
Yeah.
He got
sure.
pretty much a 102. So he didn't lose any time because of cycles. I think he loses 5 seconds if you just miss those blocks at the end to wait for another one. So next cycle, but he made the first cycle, so he still got a really good time. Fuff! You're supposed to go do unlock Train Rush, but the screen slid or something, and he accidentally selected AliExpress. Not gonna lie, I feel that I'm kind of scared that's gonna happen sometimes too.
It's weird because when you like mouse over the level, it slides. So if you
Yeah,
don't
and if
click
you keep your
fast
mouse
enough,
and if you keep your mouse exactly where it is, it just puts you on top of AliExpress.
yeah, I've made that mistake before. Like before AliExpress, before I did it, and it just showed the AliExpress rift picture.
Which is a better mistake to make than actually loading into the level.
Yeah, far better.
So this level that noackk is doing right now is the second longest level in the run, and once we figured out this new toilet quick kill, we immediately thought, can we take this level out? And we did. So you're not going to see Fuff do this. I think there is a way to do the new toilet quick kill and still do parade, and it's like a second slower optimally, but this level's just boring. Most people try to get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm guessing the snatcher route's gonna be significantly faster than doing toilet and parade.
Yeah.
But for now,
Of it-
they're pretty much the same.
Because of the lack of people running ATP, I don't think Mafia of Cooks or Snatcher, which is the two levels that Fuff did to not need to do parade, I don't think those two levels have been optimized as well as they can be. So I'm sure that 1 second will grow as more and more people play those levels.
One, two, presto!
Pretty solid train rush. I have no idea what pace Fuff is on.
He just has to do Mafia of Cooks and then it's off to CTR where it's back to the old route.
Considering that the sewers mistake and double dupe happened, I'm guessing he's not really anywhere close to PB pace, but
With double dupe he'd be close, but I would guess anyways, I don't know. But with the sewers, I'm gonna guess
yeah,
he's not.
sewers was pretty huge. Everything else has been pretty good so far, though.
Yeah, I don't know what his exact, pace usually is, so I can't say exactly what time he's at, but... So this is the only, purple rift that we will see in any percent, probably ever, honestly. And what you have to do in these rifts is you have to collect these specific tokens, these rift pawns, these pawns with the crown in them. You need a certain number of them to move on to the next floor, I guess you want to call them. I don't know exactly what to call them. But, so, this one's fairly simple. We just collect them as we go. Some of these are more complicated, but we're just moving through this one.
The music in this rift is pretty amazing.
Oh, the music in this game is really good. I just don't like the remixes as much, honestly. It's actually possible to do a die boost off that statue and make it to the thing, but you have to get the die boost at an angle. It's kind of precise.
120 for this IL is pretty good.
Yeah. So now Fuff is done with all the levels and that noackk isn't doing, so we can now compare once noackk gets to this point in his run, we can see how far apart they are. There's just 3 more levels left for Fuff to do, and all of them noackk will be doing as well in this order.
Get ready. Go!
This level is kind of hard for beginners, but once you learn the fastest movement, it's not too bad. Your goal is to just beat this Mafia guy, and you're normally supposed to use a time stop hat casually, but in a speedrun we can just make it without any of that.
Yeah, getting the time stop hat is extremely slow. It requires 24 yarn. We grab 18? Wait, 14 in this route. So that would require making no other hats in this run and grabbing 10 extra
Did
yarn.
he just
in
go
order
on
to
the
make it.
telescope for no reason? I think
I
he
don't know,
did.
I was watching noackk on Grain Rush.
Yeah, I think Fuff's gonna end up with like a 39, 40-ish mailroom time, which is on pace for a high 45.
Which is still a pretty good run.
Yeah, without the sewers stuff, this would be a 44. And maybe double dupe also.
Yeah. Noack's having a terrible train rush.
Here we go!
Alright, so now we're done with all of the main levels of the run. Now we just need to do the one that really matters, finale. In order to beat this game, this is the only level you really need to finish, but we need 25 timepieces to unlock it, so we have to do the entire rest of the game.
This level would normally require the Dweller's Hat, which is why there was that lock on the level. Fuff doesn't have it, but he won't need it because of a skip.
Yeah, the skip that Fuff is about to do is probably the biggest skip in the game.
I think without the skip, you can actually do this within like 20 seconds of the optimal finale skip time, but the Dweller's Hat's the big thing.
The part that makes it, yeah. Because that requires an additional 12 yarn, which we don't have.
In a little bit, Fuff's gonna try to slide over these holes and just keep sliding. That's why he goes right and then left, so he can basically jump over it.
Yeah, but he did a little bit back and right here. There was an invisible wall there that if he didn't go right then left, he would have just bonked and fallen, and it's a bad time. So I know like earlier had a little trouble on the moon, but he's getting there. I just want to mention that I entered finale about the point where Fuff's at right now in my PvP. I thought I had a good run.
I mean, it's still good. There's always room to improve. Yeah, that's true.
So, I have some time to save from that. I think I entered like 10 seconds later in a run today that, like I said, it just didn't feel like a good run. And then I felt the finale slides that Fuff managed.
This is Mustache Girl. She has like, what, 5 phases? Or is it 4? Maybe it's 4.
It depends on what you count as a phase. If Throne Room is phase 1, it's phase 2, Mafia Ball would be phase 3, Cherry's phase 4, and then
yeah,
final
so
phase.
5. Okay. The first
know
3
what-
phases of the fight are pretty consistent. There's not much luck here. The
There's
attacks
just,
are in a random order, but they're all... doesn't really matter what the order is.
you're gonna go through all of them twice anyways, so there's not like any one that you're gonna want to avoid. In phase 1, you can get like double hits and triple hits to speed it up. That is a bit luck, but that's not.
There are certain
get
attacks, though, that
double
are
hits.
guaranteed to be skipped in the first phase, which is the underground attack, and then also when she throws timepieces, you're guaranteed to get a double hit there.
Unless you're bad.
Yeah. This
I
phase
think I
is
may have
pretty
missed
random,
that. This is. I don't even know the time differences between this, but this is heavily based on RNG.
though. I think it's like 6 seconds per shield, extra shield.
Oh, really?
Something like that. I've heard that before, but the shields are basically considered attacks in the code, so they're randomized where they appear, and you can have fewer of them sometimes. Because if you have 2 shields next to each other, it just only counts as 1. So the best you can get is 1 cherry, worst is 4 cherry if you don't mess up.
Unfortunately, sometimes she doesn't give you much of a choice and just doesn't want to get out of her shield.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't even throw the cherry until the next attack. That's always fun. So he did a double hit there by doing Brewer and then the homing attack, which you can do on the shockwave attack only. Yeah, so that's a high 45. Pretty good run.
Yeah.
If it weren't for those major mistakes early on, it would have been extremely good.
He would have been within a couple seconds of his PV if he didn't mess up.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the Golden Vault and Sewers alone. I'm sure he also had some small movement errors and lost a good amount of time throughout the run as well.
So yeah, congrats to Fuff. He's going to be facing John Chi in the next round, but we're gonna see noackk finish up first.
So noackk only has 2 more levels left, and then he's gonna be doing finale, so shouldn't be too long.
Go!
Fuff, I'm assuming you're not going to come in for an interview.
Oh yeah, Fuff
Okay.
failed bag skip also, right?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, so that
Yeah,
was
he got
like
second.
20 on bag skip, 10 on double dupe, and then 45 on sewers. So that's a minute and 15. This definitely would have been like tied to his PB.
At least.
Yeah. Pretty insane.
Here we go.
I'm trying to think of what else he messed up. I'm sure we're forgetting something. But that was a very solid run overall. Alright, so now just has to head into finale. I think one thing we didn't mention with Fuff is that for anyways, with finale, it's one of the more major choke points for the run. If you fail the full sides, which is pretty easy to do, you're going to be losing at least a minute.
Yeah, it could be potentially more if you don't end up
Depends on
dying,
where you
because
fell.
then you'd have to exit the level and come back.
Yeah. And then even for like newer runners, just getting up to the point, because you can just die boost across the top, because the sides are pretty hard. Even just getting up there for newer runners can be a challenge. I think my first run, I had like a 12-minute segment time or something like that.
Yeah, when you're starting out, finale and cheating the race are probably the worst levels, because they're pretty scary and punishing.
And that's obviously the reason that they're last in the run.
Yeah.
Only reason. We're just mean.
New finale skip being discovered by noackk right now.
Mustache go quick kill setup. So as you can see, there's a lot of small things that you may not have seen from Fuff that just make this hard.
Yeah, I think this game's really cool to run, at least, and it'll get even cooler over time, just because of all the small stuff there is. I think in general, there's like a lot of things that aren't that punishing in terms of time compared to other games. Like if you just die, it'll still spawn you back in the level, and if you like fall in a pit, you might not lose any time really, but all the small time saves that up a lot. And that's where the difficulty comes from.
And if there's some harder strats maybe you saw here that you don't want to go for, if you just don't go for them, you won't be losing the 30 seconds for failing it. So a lot of strats you can do to skip a lot of the hard stuff.
Yeah, that's why finale is difficult. Also, he
Oh.
fell in a really bad spot.
So if you since you're out of bounds, they don't program it forever. So if you go past where the lava ends, you're just gonna go off the edge of the map and down into the I don't even want to abyss, void, bottom, whatever you want to call this area. And there is no way to damage yourself. The only way to get back up is to go back to hub and reload the level, which loses additional almost 30 seconds to get back to the castle area. Probably even more, actually, time it takes to get to the telescope.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I'm gonna be honest, Dean. I think it's over. How long ago did I lose?
It's been a while. We haven't had much to talk about, really.
Yeah. I've got a 45-53.
I'm like, I'm done. I think it's over. I
Our-
didn't even know that.
RTA,
Yeah, I think
only been a
it's
minute or
over for
two.
now. 45. I'm at like what 53. It's I think I'm done with this one.
Hey.
Boys. It's been a good race. I'm gonna call it right there. I'll take the loss.
You had
it's
seven
been a while.
throughout the run.
We haven't
Yeah,
had
I
much to
mean, I
talk
didn't
about,
play.
really.
It's
Yeah.
prior to
Fuff
the
got a
race. I forgot it was
45-53.
happening. It's, it happens. I'm washed up. We all know this. It's no secret. We don't have to worry about it.
Everyone has their bad days. Only
Yeah,
been a
it's
minute or
just- it's just
two.
how it goes. You're right. Everyone has their bad days. I missed that gate skip like 4 times in a row. I died 30,000 times in the run. It's just, it happens. Oh God, make it stop. I'm making it stop. I'm surrendering. I'm done. No one wants to beat a dead horse.
I kind of want to.
It's messed up. It's
Only
really
if you're
messed
the
up.
horse.
Just let me be. Just let me live.
Fuff will be joining us shortly. He just has to turn his computer back on.
Did he say that?
Yeah, Twitch chat. All the power in his house just flickered off.
Wow.
No, October, that didn't happen 5 minutes ago. You still could have won.
Yeah, if only. I asked him to let me win, but, just doesn't happen. He didn't want to let it happen, so it's not how it goes. It wasn't meant to be. I'm betting on John Chi beating Fuff next round, though.
Yeah, I kind of need it because otherwise I'm playing Fuff because I'm not going to beat Username.
Why don't you just beat them both, anyways?
I could, but it probably won't happen. Same reason you didn't win.
Yeah, well, the difference between you and me is that I'm poop.
Yeah, and you also play other games.
Yeah. Kind of difficult. I mean,
Don't
honestly,
forget that though. Fuff has been fairly consistent recently. Username has been known to get like 50+ minute times.
Oh, Fuff has world record. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He was in Losers.
Yikers. But that's just
So you
because
never know.
that I think I said this like my first race. I needed Dylan to lose so I could beat Dylan in Losers, and it's all ruined. So my whole plans were put in the trash can.
No, I lost losers round 2 because I messed up literally everything.
Same, dude. We're like 2 peas in a pod.
Hell yeah.
Okay, but I think that's gonna be it for me. I think I'm about to hop out.
All right.
Have fun with your interview with Fuff.
I
GG's,
won't.
Fuff. I'm peacing out. Bye bye.
See ya.
Just gotta wait for Fuff to load his computer up.
Hello.
Oh, there
Hey.
you are.
Is mic quality okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Alright.
Probably sounds better than mine.
Noah just left and he said, GG's Fuff in an angry tone.
Yeah, GG's, I guess. I don't know.
You had a
I can't
good
seem to
run.
play well at the beginning, but
iffy.
yeah. The
I think
beginning,
that was a
guess I'm
community goal
always
for
nervous.
viewers, right?
Sewers, yeah. Probably. Might have to retime that, but I think so.
Yeah, outside of Mafia Town, that was a pretty good run.
And
Yeah.
bag skip also.
Yeah, for some
Yeah, that's
reason
part
I
of
can't
Mafia
seem to
Town
play
resets.
well. At the beginning of the run, I just can't seem to play well. Then I guess once I get into the swing of playing, I don't know, I'm able to do better.
Everyone needs to warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
So remember, I know, like I said, you missed double dupe. Sewers happened. And you got second try back skip.
Yeah.
Did anything else bad happen that run? I either forget or didn't notice.
There's a few stupid mistakes. Like I think I re-entered the telescope after cheating the
Oh,
race.
right.
Oh yeah, you also re-entered
Owl Express.
Owl Express. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than those two things, nothing really comes to
And
mind.
Force
but-
Cycle, obviously.
Yeah. A few things weren't very good, but no major mistakes outside of the Mafia Town, I guess. Yeah,
I
it's still 45, so whatever.
Hope you get a 43 soon.
Yeah, me too.
One thing we didn't ask noackk about, he got T-pose in Murder, and that lasted for so long. It was great.
I think
Like,
I've
I think-
only ever seen that happen in Alpine.
I've only ever
Don't
seen
think
that
I've
happen
seen
in Alley.
that there.
No, but it happened to him at like right after you get the key.
Yeah, I'll have to look at
And-
that.
So he had to do
Never
the
seen that.
jump up to the button, and then even after like he left the room, like when he was selecting like the clue and getting the timepiece, it was still in the T-pose. It was really funny.
Okay, so I guess is that it?
Yeah.
So good job
think
on
we
your
said
run.
everything. Good luck in the next round.
All right, thanks. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. See you guys. Don't know what's next on speed gaming, but enjoy the show.
Probably Link to the Past.
Yeah, probably.